Welcome to Such Technology. My name is Sud. Today we're going to take a quick look at our fully custom loop Lian gaming PC. This case is the Lian O11 Dynamic Mini Snow White Edition, and the GPU has an EK water block. The front has an EK reflection distro plate, which was specifically made for this case. For the CPU water block, we're using a Thermaltake CPU water block. The RAM is a Corsair DDR4 32 gig RAM, and for pipes we've used PETG pipes, and for custom liquid we've used the Thermaltake P1000 red custom liquid. The fans are all Lian SL120, the uni full modular fans, so we don't have any cables. It's just one cable for each row of fans. For radiators, we've used 360mm radiators in the bottom for Corsair, and on the side 240mm radiators from Corsair. Overall, this PC has really low temperatures both for the GPU and the CPU, even under really high load. One thing to note is that the temperatures are not going to drop lower than room temperature, but they will remain around the 50s or 60s for any types of games that you play today, and regardless of whatever CPU you use. And this CPU water block also supports AM4, AM5, and also LGA 1700 sockets. So it just depends on what mounting brackets you use. If you want an awesome looking gaming PC without compromising on performance, just contact us on Facebook or give us a call if you're located in Australia. See you next time. Okay, now let's dive deeper into this water machine. For the parts, we've used Barrow fittings all around the PC. So if you take a look at these silver fittings, these are all Barrow. You can go ahead and buy these on like eBay or Amazon, depending on what you want. So these are right angle fittings. These are compression fittings for PETG hard tubes, and you've got to put one compression fitting per tube attachment that you want to go. So for example, if you want to put your tube inside a CPU water block, you need two of those compression fittings. So one for an inlet and one for an outlet. The same goes for a GPU block. So one for inlet, one for outlet. And if you want to do double fittings, you just need one of them, because usually right angle fittings come with a thread on one side, and the other side can go into a compression fitting. So that's that for right angle fittings. The next thing is what do you do to test this out? So eventually when you test it out, you need something like this. It's called a jumper. You really shouldn't be connecting everything right off the get-go. So connect your power supply to a jumper. Don't connect anything to your motherboard. So just put your jumper and then turn the power supply on. Remember, you have to have liquid in the reservoir for it to go through the pump. Otherwise your pump will fail even if it runs for a second. So put a jumper, start your power supply, and see the liquid going around. If you run out of liquid, keep filling it, and that should give you a very quick test of whether something is leaking, if anything at all. If you want to go one step further, you can get a leak test kit, which can test if there are any leaks even without filling your pipes. So you can go ahead and buy EK leak test kits that you can find on eBay or Amazon or any of the computer stores near you. So what you got to do is buy a leak test kit and put it inside one of the inlet ports, and then fill it up with pressure and see if there's a pressure drop. If there is a pressure drop, a significant pressure drop, that means there is a leak somewhere, and you will have to find out which piece of your loop is leaking. So that will save you a ton of time and money if you have a leak test kit. And the next one is, you might get things like these, which are I call them Y fittings. So these will go as one fitting like this, and you get two tubes out of them on the other side. So if you want to split them into two 45-degree angles from one inlet, then you can use this one. The next very important thing is a hex key. Whenever you have tightened these parts in like really hard, you might not be able to take them out, or you might want to tighten them properly so that they don't leak, and you might not be able to do them with your hand. So you can use a hex key and use them on near the holes there, wherever they go in, and it will go perfectly well. So the hex key comes with the barrow fittings kit. So I highly recommend getting a barrow fittings kit. The other thing that is very important that most newbies with water loop forget is a drain. It's a drain valve. So if you look here, I don't know if the camera is getting that. So this is a drain valve. So if you have a drain valve, at the time where you want to do maintenance, or if there is a leak where you want to flush out the entire liquid, it's going to be very helpful if you have a drain valve. So what you need to do is put the drain valve at the lowest part of your liquid cooling system. Also, you should be careful that it is not right next to a pump, because that means that the liquid will try to go straight into the drain valve and it will not go to the flow. In this kit, if you see, the drain valve is just one step above the bottom pipes. So that means that it will get most of the liquid out of the drain valve. And then what you need to do is just connect a soft tube to your drain valve, and connect the soft tube to a soft tube fitting. You get these like in various sizes, and connect a soft tube to it. And the other end of the soft tube, connect it to a bottle or a funnel or just a vessel or something where you can get the water out, and then you open the drain valve if you want to flush the liquid out. And you should be able to get the liquid out easily. If some liquid is still stuck at the bottom, just do a tilt of your machine and it should bring out all the liquid. So that's that. There is one more thing that you need to know. Yes, so the sizes. So with respect to the sizes of all the fittings, one term that you'll hear a lot when you try to buy these things is called a G1.25. So G1/4 inch stands for a size of the inner diameter and outer diameter. So the outer diameter, these pipes are outer diameter 16 mm and inner diameter 12 mm. That's like a pretty standard size, and it's the safest bet when you want to buy radiators, parts like fittings, drain valves and plugs. When you buy plugs, you should buy a plug like this. You need to buy a plug like this. So if you buy a plug like this, you just ensure that there is a rubber seal around it. Here, if you see, it's black, and the reason that we have them is because the default seal that comes with, the default plug that comes along with the distro plate and the other parts are just plastic, and they do not come with a rubber seal. So if you leave this inside your machine and if you turn your liquid cooling machine on, the water is going to spill out of this because there is no sealant in this. So if you look at this, part, there is no rubber seal here. Whereas if you look at the actual plugs, G1/4 plug, you will be able to see a rubber seal properly there compared to this one. Is that showing? No? Nothing? I think this should work, right? And this is what comes inside your compression fitting. So this is a sealant for your compression fittings, and these should be on the pipe. So let's say that this is a PETG tube. This is not a PETG tube, but let's just say, just to explain, if this is a PETG tube, you just have to put it around the tube that way, and then you've got to connect these rings, and then tighten them when it comes to your straight fittings or your right angle fittings. So that's how you need to connect these ones. If you would like to see more details about how to handle these fittings, just head on to our website and check out our blog, and we've explained in detail about how to screw in a custom fitting, a custom loop fitting, and what the different sizes are and what you should look out for, etc., etc. If you would like to get a custom loop and you're in Australia, and especially if you're in Sydney, just call us and talk to us, and we can get you a nice custom loop machine which runs really cool. And we do both gaming PCs and workstation PCs. Okay, see you next time.